Alright, now we can just finish the boss. This is the best loadout for the Bunker E15 Legendary Lost Sector. In this Lost Sector, there's a couple Overload champions and Barrier champions, as well as a couple Void shields. For our weapon loadout, we're going to use a kinetic sniper rifle. This kinetic sniper rifle is obtained from the Deepstone Crypt raid, but you can use the Long Shadow sniper rifle that you can get by depositing weapon parts into Banshee. We're also going to use a Void bow for the Overload champions, as well as the increased Void damage in the Lost Sector. This bow also gets a 50% damage buff because of the increased damage to Void. You can get this bow from the Battlegrounds activity. And then for our heavy weapon, we're going to use the Truth rocket launcher for boss DPS and killing champions. Our armor mods are going to be Argent Ordnance. While charged with light, you get increased rocket launcher damage by consuming 1 stack of charge with light. To get our stacks of light charge, we're going to use Precision Charge. Rapidly defeating enemies with precision kills from bows will get us a charge with light stack. Then also on our boots, we're going to use Rocket Launcher Scavenger for more rocket ammo. On our chest, we're going to use Stacks on Stacks. Every charge with light stack we get from bow kills will give us an extra one for free. And then we're going to use Void Resistance mod since all Void damage in this Lost Sector is increased. This will reduce some of that. And then we're going to use Concussive Dampener because there's a bunch of Void splash damage and this will reduce some of that damage as well. On our gloves, we're going to use Anti-Barrier Sniper Rifle and Overload Bow. And then for our helmet, we're going to use the Nezarec Sin Exotic Helmet. Void damage kills will increase your ability regen, and we're going to use the Supercharged mod to increase the total stacks of charge with light by 2, and then we're going to use Rocket Launcher Ammo Finder for more ammo. The modifier is when goblins die, they spawn an arc pool at their feet. Incoming arc and aerial damage is increased. And then all void damage you deal and receive is also increased by 50%. First thing we're going to do is going to disrupt the champion just so it won't shoot us. And then we're going to take care of all the enemies. We want to take care of all these enemies before we drop down so we don't take the extra damage while in the air. Now we're going to disrupt the champion the final time and then kill it with rockets. First thing we want to do is break that so we can get these guys to help us out. We're just going to kill these Vex. We're going to cook a grenade, drop it on the Vex in the back, and kill the Minotaur. In the next room here, we're just going to take care of the Hobgoblins first. You're just going to keep moving around the outside of the map here, killing all the enemies that you can, and breaking the boxes to get the AI allies to help you out. First thing we want to kill is the Cyclops, since it one-shots you. There we go. We're going to kill these goblins, and then we're just going to snipe the champion so it pops its barrier, and then break the barrier with the sniper. We're going to finish clearing the room, and then we'll be in the boss room. We're just going to kill these enemies from inside the entrance here. We're just going to keep clearing the room. Once everything's dead, the boss will spawn. We're going to kill these goblins, and then we're going to DPS the boss. You want to save some of your rockets for the Overload champions that spawn in here. But otherwise, you want to use everything that you can on the boss. We're going to cook a grenade. Super. Shoot a couple rockets. Now we're going to take out this Overload champion. First, just get as many goblins as you can. Now we're going to disrupt it. Rocket the champion. There we go. If you're lower light, just hang back here. You'll take less damage from enemies because you have the cover in the hallway here. Otherwise, you can be a little bit more aggressive. And there you go. And that's how you easily clear the Bunker E15 Legendary Lost Sector. On Titan, we're going to use Top Tree Sentinel for the Ward of Dawn for the increased damage. Our weapon loadout is going to be a kinetic sniper rifle. This is the kinetic sniper rifle that you can get from the Deepstone Crypt raid. But you can also get the Long Shadow sniper rifle from rank up packages from Banshee. We're going to use the sniper rifle here for anti-barrier rounds. We're also going to use a Void Bow since all Void damage is increased by 50%, as well as disrupting the Overload champions. For our heavy, we're going to use the Truth Rocket Launcher for boss DPS and killing champions. On our armor mods, we're going to use Argent Ordnance. Your rockets will do more damage, consuming 1 charge with light stack. To get charged with light stacks, we're going to use Precision Charge. Rapidly defeating enemies with precision kills from bows will get us a charge with light stack. And then also on our boots, we're going to use Rocket Launcher Scavenger mods for extra rocket ammo. On our chest piece, we're going to use Stacks on Stacks. For every charge with light stack we get from our bow kills, we'll get an extra one for free. We're also going to use Concussive Dampener since there's a bunch of splash damage in this Lost Sector. And then we're going to use Void Resistance as well since Void damage coming in is 50% stronger. On our gloves, we're going to use Anti-Barrier Sniper Rifle and Overload Bow. And then on our helmet, we're going to use Charged Up, which gives us an extra total stack of Charge with Light. And then we're going to use Rocket Launcher Ammo Finder mods for more ammo. The active modifiers are when goblins die, they spawn an arc pool at their feet. All incoming arc and aerial damage is increased, and then void damage you deal and receive is also increased by 50%. We're gonna go ahead and just hang out here and pick off each enemy before we take on the Overload champion. Once we disrupt it again, we're just gonna go ahead and rocket it. First thing we want to do here is break the box to get the AI allies to help us out. And then we're just going to pick these off. And kill the Minotaur here in the back. In the next room here, the first thing we want to do is break the boxes to get the allies to help us and kill the hobgoblins. With the enemies spawning here, the first one we want to kill is the Cyclops, since the incoming void damage that it does is increased, and it'll basically just one-shot us. We're going to clear the rest of the enemies in the room, and then we're going to save the barrier champion for last. We're going to go ahead and just snipe the champion so a barrier pops, break the barrier, and then finish the champion. In this room, we're just going to hang out here in the hallway since we can get a bunch of cover and just pick off all the enemies. We want to kill the wyvern in the back there as quickly as possible since it does void. Go ahead and just snipe it so it reveals its crit. Use the cover if you need to. And then we can just finish it. Once we kill the last of these enemies in here, the boss is going to spawn. We're going to pop our bubble right here so we have the cover. We need it. We're just going to pick off the enemies here. Save some of your rockets for the Overload champions that'll spawn. But if you have a bunch on the ground like right now, you can just go ahead and use a bunch on the boss. There's the Overload champion. Disrupt it. Kill it with rockets. We're gonna finish these goblins right here, and then we should be able to just kill the boss. If you kill the boss a little too slowly like I just did there, another Overload champion's gonna spawn. We're just gonna disrupt it and rocket it. And that is how you easily clear the Bunker E15 Legendary Lost Sector. On Hunter, it doesn't really matter what subclass you're using for this Lost Sector. What really matters is the weapon loadout and armor mods that you're using. So again, we're going to be using a kinetic sniper rifle. This one can be obtained from the Deepstone Crypt raid. You can also use the Long Shadow sniper rifle that you can get by depositing weapon parts into Banshee for rank up packages. We're also going to be using a Void Bow for the Overload champions and the increased damage to Void. And then for our heavy weapon, we're going to be using the Truth rocket launcher for boss and champion DPS. We're going to be using Argent Ordnance. For consuming one charge with light stack, your rockets will do more damage. To get the charge with light stacks, we're going to be using Precision Charge. Rapidly defeating enemies with precision kills from bows will get charged with light stacks. And then we're going to use rocket launcher scavenger mods on the boots for more rocket ammo. On our chest piece, we're going to use stacks on stacks. For every charge with light stack we get from our bow kills, we'll get an extra one for free. And then we're going to use void damage resistance since all void damage in this Lost Sector is increased. And then we're going to use concussive dampener for all of the splash damage. On our gloves, we're going to use overload bow and anti-barrier sniper rifle. On our helmet, we're going to use Charged Up, which gives an extra total stack of charged with light that you can hold. And then we're going to use Rocket Launcher Ammo Finder for more rocket ammo. Go ahead and use whatever exotic armor piece you want for this build. Here's the modifiers in this Lost Sector. When goblins die, they spawn an arc pool at their feet. All incoming arc and aerial damage is increased. And all void damage you deal and receive is also increased by 50%. First thing we're going to do is just hang back here and pick off all the enemies that we can and save the champion for last. Once it's just the champion, go ahead and just rocket it. There we go. Quick and easy kill. First thing we want to do here is break the AI allies out. They can help us kill the Vex. We're going to go ahead and drop a grenade there for the Minotaur. First thing we want to do in this room is break the boxes and kill the Hobgoblins. This way the AI allies will help us out. Then just work around the outside of the map. Once enough enemies in this room are dead, more enemies will spawn, as well as an anti-barrier champion. We're going to go ahead and drop a grenade there. We want to kill the Cyclops first, since it does so much damage with the increased void. Then we want to take care of the Minotaur and the last of the goblins before we finish the champion. Alright, we're gonna shoot the champion and then kill it with the sniper rifle. This is the last room. We're just going to play in this hallway here, since it has a bunch of cover for us. Kill all of the goblins that you can before the wyvern gets to us. Go ahead and just snipe the wyvern to stun it, and it'll reveal its crit. And then we want to finish it quickly, since it does void damage. Once we kill the last enemy in this room, the boss is going to spawn. We're going to kill these goblins first. And then we're going to tether and DPS the boss. You're going to want to save your rockets for the overload champions that are going to come. Gonna grab this ammo, and then we're gonna take care of the champion that just spawned. Rocket the champion. Want to get rid of this quickly. Alright. Now we can just finish the boss. You saved the day, Goblin. You saved the day. If you don't finish the boss there, another champion's gonna spawn. We're just gonna hang back here. The Overload Minotaur is gonna come to us. Disrupt it, rock it, and now, once the boss stops shooting us, kill it for real this time, and no goblin will save it. There we go. Easy legendary lost sector, except for the hobgoblin at the end being a savior for the boss.
Twice, if I could be a paradise.